Okay, this is Surly Tim at Surly Tim's Fun Bunker. I'm shooting some more episodes today. I'm shooting as many episodes as I can, which means I may be able to shoot about 10 episodes until my power runs out on the camera, which means I've got to place them, convert them, and then I'll start placing them. I won't place them all in one time. I'll probably place them over the next week. A little here, a little there. That way it's spread out and there's not so much crap hitting at once. Mill Creek has released over the last couple of years a lot of multi-packs, of which I've just went over 5 different ones in the other previous videos. But I'm trying to keep each episode at 10 minutes because for some strange reason I have a problem uploading stuff that's more than 10 minutes. So we start off with Mill Creek's Gorehouse Greats. It's this one. I'm not really sure on a lot of them what the movies are about because I really haven't watched all these films. I'll actually just comment on the ones that I know. Blood of Dracula's Castle, which came out in 1969. Blood Mania, old gothic horror flick. Brain Twister, which is a sci-fi flick, but I've not. Most of these, like I said, I haven't seen. The Devil's Hand, I actually mentioned in the previous episode. It's about the guy. It's a guy who falls in love with a woman from a dream that he had, and he winds up involved in a cult. If you've watched the episode before, I explained a little bit better. Before that, or following that, Madmen of Mendoras, which was the beginning of the last episode, which I have a better copy on that one, but it is also known as They Saved Hitler's Brain. Just one of those mad scientist type films. Nightmare on Wax, which came out in '69, is basically a modern telling for 1969 of House of Wax. And if I remember correctly, the guy that plays the part that would have been Vincent Price is the guy that played Baltar in Battlestar Galactica. Not a great film, but it had its moments. Followed by Prime Evil from 1988, Satan's Slave from 1976, Stanley from 1972, Terrified from 1963, which actually I think I covered that in the last episode too. I already mentioned it. It's all about an experiment in psychological horror. Terror, which came out in 1978, and Trip with Teacher from 1975, which was another one of those rape films that I mentioned in the last episode about the motorcycle guys who kidnap a busload of girls and their teacher, and it's really how they torment the hell out of them. Not so much a fan of those movies. This one's called Savage Cinema. From Mill Creek. This one, it's 12 movies, and they're pretty much all, the underlying theme is motorcycle movies. Best Friends from 1975. It's actually, I've covered that one before. It's got Richard Hatch in it. It's about 2 couples who are out in their RV going around the country and all the trouble they're getting into. Burnout, which I've not watched, from 1979. Dangerous Charter, which I've not watched. This guy I got within the last year, and I just need to get to it. Death Machines from 1976. Death Riders from 1976. Hellcats from 1967. Now, Hellcats, there was an episode of MST3000 that was done, and it was really enjoyable, although just on that little kind of minuscule level, it was entertaining, because Hellcats was just one of those movies on its own. It's just horrible. It's got that mentality of, it's what is it, came out in '67, so late '60s, early '70s motorcycle movies. Although endearing in that strange way, not great. Okay, next, Hell on Wheels from 1967. It's got Robert Falk in it, and Marty Robbins. The next movie, Little Laura and Big John. I just watched this the other day, and it's god awful. It's got Karen Black in it, and it's basically people in the 70s trying to make a movie about the 30s and 40s, but failing miserably because they don't have the dialogue's not correct, the costuming's incorrect, and the best part of the movie was the opening sequence, which cracked me up. It's old gangland movie footage from the old days, as well as like gangland murder type things that were going on way back when in Chicago and stuff. And whenever there's a gunfire shot, it sounds canned, which makes it sound like the cannon fire from old video games, like Galaxian and Space Invaders and stuff, which made me laugh uncontrollably for several minutes. Followed by, again, Pink Angels, which I covered in the last episode, about a group of 6 motorcycle guys who are also cross-dressers. Very fun movie. If you haven't watched it, it's worth the watch. It's rated R. It's from '71. It's not very long. I think it's like 80 or 90 minutes long. So, followed by the Side Hackers. Side Hackers was also covered in MST3000. The MST3000 version, not amazing, but it was still pretty entertaining. Side Hackers, as far as it goes, though, is an atrocious movie. It's not all that fun. It was pretty much common for the genre. So, also followed by The Wild Rebels, which I've yet to see, which came out in 1967, and then Wild Riders, which came out in 1971. Now, like I said, I haven't seen most of these films. Actually, my buddy and I went to Kmart. We found these for $5 a piece, which almost all of my stuff that I'm shooting today was $5. A couple here and there were like $7.50. But from Mill Creek, now if you can't find them in the stores anymore, because a lot of these things have been pulled due to the fact they're making room for Blu-ray now, which is really cutting their space for anything of quality on DVD. But you can go to millcreek.com or look up Mill Creek Entertainment on Google or whatever search engine you're using. But there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, yeah, even if it's hokey and old B movies, people took time to make the movies, and you know they're actually pretty enjoyable if you accept them for what they are. I know people that are just, they hate movies of that nature because they don't understand why you would make the effort to make a bad movie. A lot of these guys didn't try to make a bad movie, and even if they did, a lot of newer stuff that's being done. I know a friend of mine actually does movies, and he's went out of his way to make grindhouse films, and it's an art form that's lost, and to do it today, it pays homage to a form of film that most people don't take seriously. So I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. Hopefully I got it in the amount of time that needs to be done. So I will see you in a little while. Thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.